All right, good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
Yeah, you damn right.
I'm your host, Bo Bounds. The show is powered by Pearl River Resort and the Golden Moon Casino. We'll be there at least twice, if not 3 shows this week. Looking forward to that. We'll be broadcasting from, I know the sports book, but maybe the Rabbit too. I'm not sure. But definitely the sports book. We did a big run at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, as you know, in the clubhouse. But we'll be at the sports book this week as you get geared up for the holidays, the last couple of weeks of the regular season, championship weekend, NFL playoffs, and so on. So, yeah, we'll be there. I know Wednesday and Thursday and possibly Friday, depending on if all the stuff we have to do bleeds into the, I guess, afternoon and evening. So looking forward to that. You know that the SEC Insider Hit on Monday mornings is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Bundle your auto and home and save with your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Competitive rates powered by Farm Bureau Insurance. We'll have a cool announcement with them sooner than later. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Bo Bounds, Jackson Meadows, Straight Funk, whatever you want to call him. Ice cream drinks this time of year. We join you on 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. I'm going to get into it today. So, we're going to have to unpack all this and where we are and where we're headed. I hate it for Mississippi State fans because you continue to show up at the stadium and you're loud and, student section's been amazing, but, goodness gracious. So first, out of bounds roll call. All right. The text line, Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. 885-3776. I got 3 questions for you. We're going to give away Elijah Craig hats and Volteo hats, and then we'll throw some other stuff in, but they're really good looking. Elijah Craig hats, bourbon, Volteo, super premium tequila, Dak Prescott's tequila. We got a bunch of them. We're going to give away 3 apiece, 3 or 4 apiece. So we'll have 3 or 4 winners. Okay. You can have both hats. That works. All right. Out of bounds roll call. Text line 601-885-3776. Are you listening on 105.9 The Zone or streaming the show? Where are you listening from? Town or city? Where are you listening from? And then what was your one big takeaway? What was your one big takeaway from the weekend?
It ain't bragging if you can back it up.
All right, 601-885-3776. Real quick on the Golden Moon Casino text line, Tyler says Lane will definitely not get an ultimatum. Is MSU keeping Lebby just to create the illusion of stability going to actually do more harm than good? That's a great question, Tyler. Yeah. Here's what I'll say. I mean, it does look like he's coming back. He's got to make major changes. Will he be forced to? I don't know. I think it would be simple. You just say you can make them or you're gone. Lebby doesn't have any chips. He doesn't have any equity. He's 1-14 in SEC play. And if it wasn't for a 17-point come from behind win at Arkansas against a team that's DOA, then he'd be 0-15 in the SEC. And I can find a couple of buddies, me and Jackson, and 6, 7, 8 other guys can go up there and go, I don't know, 2-13. Okay? A trip over a win or two. Considering how watered down the league is and how many times all of our teams don't play their A game and sometimes even their B game throughout the course of the year. So, so anyway, let me stay with this. I've got a lot of texts, but let me walk you through this. You have an inexperienced head coach who's still learning how to be a good, and I don't know if he will be, but a good offensive coordinator. So that's a problem. You decide to run it back with a quarterback who's, solid at best. Your defensive coordinator would not get hired anywhere in Power 4 as a defensive coordinator. And there are a lot of there's 20 G5 defensive coordinators that are much better. Like that they're their numbers, their red zone efficiency, much better. Much better. Okay? And you're paying him $1 million a year.
That's incredible.
All right. I don't know how much you're making, but you're paying Coleman Hutzler $1 million a year. He had one job, stop Hardy. They gave up 300-plus yards against a true freshman quarterback who can't throw it or run it, and even a 7-year-old in the stadium knew that while he or she's eating popcorn and sipping on Dr. Pepper. Your special teams coach has, never been a special teams coach. And your special teams is and has been a running disaster. So he would not get hired by any other Power 4 program as special teams. All right.
Two of them with key roles.
Right.
They're coordinators.
And your game, we talk about game control and situational football. And you ran 90 plays on offense and you had 345 yards. That's pitiful. Okay. Blake Shapen had on paper he had 17 rushes, but he got sacked 5 times. So technically he had 12.
Yeah. That's
still too many. Okay. So I don't understand that when you got Kamario Taylor,
who can run.
And so there's just all these questions, and you go, why? Why this? Why this? Why this? It's not just one thing. If it was one thing, you could go, hey, Lebby is trending in the right direction. And again, he could flush a lot of this frustration if he could somehow pull an upset over Ole Miss, and you know that Ole Miss has more talent, and you know that Ole Miss has a much, 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 much better coaching staff. But he could flush a percentage of that. Now, I think you'd be putting a Band-Aid on it, okay?
For sure.
But it can make it better. But it's probably going to feel like a long time for both schools between now and next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday at 11 a.m.
Forever.
Right? Because Ole Miss is going through this weird deal where it's the most magical season in the history of the program.
Right.
But Lane won't commit to staying. And he's saying things that are just kind of off the wall and weird. We're going to play some of it here in a minute.
What did Patrick Swayze? He's dirty dancing through all that stuff.
That's a good analogy.
Swayze's just dancing.
He's dirty dancing.
Through every bit of it.
Okay. He's dirty dancing. I was in Oxford Thursday night. And, of course, I was around friends, and they're gung-ho Ole Miss fans, as they should be. Yeah. And, man, the concern and the ticked offness, I guess I really wasn't ready for it because I was hauling you-know-what to get up there and so on.
That boy's mad.
Because we did a show there on Friday. But I get it. He's the best coach in the history of your school.
Yeah.
And you've had some good coaches. Vaught, Bianco, and others. It looks like Beard could roll again, but you've had some good coaches. But he's the best coach in the history of your school. Kiffin, then Vaught, and then it just kind of pick your poison type deal, whether it's Bianco or whatever direction you want to go. I'd have to think Mike's in the top 2 or 3 because he's won the only national championship in a Big 3 sport you've had. So I did get some pushback from that a few months ago. I was just thinking about that. But anyway, so with Lebby, if it was just one thing, heck, if it was 2 things, you could say this could be addressed. Last year, you didn't make any changes on the staff. You replaced your offensive line coach, blah, 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 right? Yeah. So the question is, why is Coleman Hutzler still coaching today? And why is Cliff Odom still coaching today? Why? If you're serious about winning and you're serious about giving your donors and fans something that they deserve, that they pay a lot of money. It takes a lot of money to get up in Gulfport and Biloxi and Atlanta and Jackson and Memphis and Nashville and drive to Starkville or Oxford. Mm-hmm. You put kids in the car. That's the one thing people that don't on campus don't understand or live in Starkville or Oxford. But I'm talking about Starkville because it's easy to jump in the car right now and go to Ole Miss because you're winning.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't easy when Matt Luke was there or Houston Nutt's year he went 2-10.
No.
But right now it's easy. When you're winning, it's easy to pack the car and go. Right? And
They're happy.
you know, my question is, do you have any respect for your donors? Alums and fans and students, and your students have crushed it this year.
Man.
I mean, do you? I don't understand. You have Mike McIntyre and Paul Rhodes on the staff. Why hasn't Coleman Hutzler been relieved of his duties?
Simple.
Why hasn't Cliff Odom been? Maybe I missed it.
No.
I would think somebody would have texted me by now.
Miss it. They're there.
But that's unacceptable. So that's just thumbing their nose at you. Well, we just take you for granted. Whatever. It's arrogance. Okay? I mean, disrespectful. You tell me the adjective.
Yeah.
On the text line, 601-885-3776. Rebella says that was the most fun I've ever had at a football game. Ole Miss fan. We got somebody listening from Dallas.
Nice.
One takeaway, unless major changes are made, we are an unserious program. That's accurate.
Yeah.
That's accurate. That is accurate.
Didn't like that.
Real C. Collins says, I'm listening on 105.9 The Zone from the pits of misery. State fans are the most resilient. And it doesn't have to be this way.
No.
It's never been easier to win. Say it out loud with me. It's never been easier to win. The league is absolutely and totally watered down.
Yeah.
Absolutely and totally watered down. Bo, I'm listening from Mendenhall on 105.9 The Zone. I can't remember if a running back ever got 300 yards on Mississippi State. The team started out hot, but really took a downturn as the season went on, and that's on the coaches. Love your show, Bodine, dog. Cool, thank you. I appreciate you listening.
You ain't wrong.
Okay, we've got a high school coach on the text line. High school football coach here. I don't like to criticize coaches because I know how difficult the job is, but watching Lebby manage a football game is painful. Is there any way he gets fired if Ole Miss blows out State? That could probably still – I think there could be a slight chance that if
I think it's thumped.
If Kiffin runs him out of Davis Wade, I think things could right now. I think the collective.
He's back.
Yeah,
He's
is that he's back?
Yeah, but if they get drilled by 40,
if they get drilled and Kiffin runs it up at Davis Wade, I think as the afternoon and night unfolds, it could get. It still may stay, but it could get real dicey and real hot in multiple buildings on campus. Now, here's another question I have. If there wasn't a meeting with Jeff Lebby yesterday about where the program is and where the program's going, you're not a serious football program. And I'm talking a very, very candid. I don't care that the AD and the coach are buddies. It doesn't matter to me. I do not care at all. I don't even care what their names are.
Shouldn't.
I don't dislike them.
Nope.
I mean, their names could be Craig Smith, Bo Bounds, Jackson Meta. It doesn't matter to me.
Nope.
But if there wasn't, actually, there should have been multiple meetings. But if there wasn't one yesterday, that should tell you all you need to know. If there wasn't a really, 30 minutes, maybe even bleed into 60 minutes. I don't believe in long meetings. But sometimes you got to hash it out. And this is something that needs to be hashed out.
Hit me with who should have been in that meeting. I think it's top down though, right? It has to be top down.
Athletic director and head coach.
AD and 8. So just AD, head coach, 1-on-1, mano-a-mano. That ain't happening.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been some of the AD's lieutenants, but whatever. I mean,
Last time Mississippi State gave up 300-plus yards rushing.
When was it?
Last year, Arizona State.
Oh,
Because
Scattaboo
went over, yeah.
So Hutzler has 2, baby. He's got the title.
My man.
He got it. He had the title last year. He said, I want to go get it again.
That dude's killing it.
Lane Kiffin's trying to win a national title. Coleman Hutzler's winning, giving up 300-plus yards to running backs.
All right, let me show you how
titles.
It's
All
done.
right, so I'm sorry. Did Cam have that, or was it
It had to be
as a
Let
team?
me look.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to know that. Because Hardy got it by himself.
Like 260, if I remember correctly.
Hardy got it by himself
That's
on
crazy.
Saturday.
That's absurd.
Yeah, they sent him back in to get it. And Eli Drinkowitz was laughing on the sideline.
Right.
And Eli Drinkwitz is a good coach. He's not Sean Payton.
No.
Okay.
Well, he didn't have to be. He was facing a 7v7 coach.
Right. So, Kyle J says, I don't understand why Lebby has to get a third year. He won't make any staff changes or hire a special assistant to hire him. Well, you got to hope that he does if he's going to get it. No, he doesn't have to get a third year. When people say you can't hire a coach because there's so many openings, that's nonsense.
Yeah.
There are plenty of good, because all we do is throw around the same coaches possibly moving. Kiffin, Drinkwitz, Summerall, Brom, maybe Sark, Marcus Freeman to the NFL, James Franklin landing to Virginia Tech or somewhere. Y'all know the drill. But there are many, 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 many other good coaches that are going to be the next John Summerall, the next Lane Kiffin, the next Kurt Cignetti, and the next Dabo.
That's how it works.
All right? I mean, that may be a little crazy, but y'all know what I mean. The next Dan Mullen. Mullen won again at UNLV. He's won 8 games in year 1. Barry Odom won 10 games for the first time in the history of the program last year. Dan goes out there, totally flips the roster, and has won again. They had a walk-off, by the way, on Saturday night. Humphreys County Dog says 105.9 The Zone, Louise, Mississippi. State needs significant coaching changes on the defensive side of the football and offense. But yes, you are right, because Lebby's got to have a right-hand game control, game manager guy beside him, too. I don't care where you classify what side of the ball he's on. I don't care. But he can be on offense. He can be on defense, but a guy to help him make decisions. It is a disaster on fourth down. Special teams is a disaster. Who to play at quarterback? That got me so dizzy going back at what was going on? What was the strategy with how you played shaping how and when? Again, situational football. And how and when you played Camario.
He's asking us. He has no idea.
Drug Dog says, I'm streaming the show, Bo, from the land of sadness and futility. My takeaway, I didn't drink enough on Saturday night. I had one guy who doesn't drink a lot text me on Saturday night, and he said, I'm pouring a bourbon. This guy probably, drinks 6 bourbons a year.
I mean, it was worthy.
Nashville T, morning, fellas. I'm streaming from Nashville. Man, Lane is really dampening my excitement for this historic season. Went to the game Saturday, electric. But in his post-game presser, he dumps on us by referring to the Citadel crowd. We're about to play some audio. Man, it's tiring. Make a decision. Let's move forward, dude. Hottie, toddy. You should be excited. Not about where Lane's going, but being 10-1. Who do we have here? 105.9 The Zone. I'm listening in Canton, Bo. At work. As a State fan, I'd rather lose with Camario Taylor than win with Blake Shapen. No, you wouldn't. Lebby keeps playing him because they both have the decision-making skills of a 9-year-old. It's been bad. Yeah. And by the way, for the offensive line, and one of those picks that Shapen had, he had 6 seconds. The offensive line's been more than adequate.
Oh, yeah.
Many, 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 many times throughout the year. Now, have they gotten blown up at times? Have they missed assignments? Sure. Has Shapen been decleated? At times, yes. But there have been times Shapen's had all day in the pocket, and there have been times where Booth and Fluff had plenty of space. You don't need a Mack truck. This is football.
Right.
Plenty of space to run. Okay? But there have been times where Shapen's had all day in the pocket. So when people just say, well, it's just the offensive line, they're wrong. It's like saying that you can't afford to win. Of course you can. You got over $15 million in this team.
Yeah.
Do you have the Lane audio that I mentioned? Mm-hmm. All right. So Lane Train was asked what he's been being asked about Ole Miss and the job and the future. Here we go.
Lane read the story from Ross Dellinger this week that he had that sit down with you, and there was a really striking quote there at the end where you talked about picturing yourself being at the elite Blue Bloods, but you sort of changed, and you didn't think it was necessarily a place like Ole Miss, but you've sort of changed your way of thinking, and that maybe this is the last chapter. There's a lot of talk about you for coaching searches right now. Do you anticipate being the head coach at Ole Miss next year?
Yeah, I think the last chapter thing makes me feel like I'm 80 years old, So I don't like being old, so I don't really like that part of the story that makes me feel like I'm on my last chapter. So I love what we're doing here. Today was awesome, and I don't talk about that stuff. And really, to even talk about it right now would be so disrespectful to our players and how well they played today. So, you know, we got a lot of things going here, doing really well, and I love it here. So.
All right. So those were some good things, but he didn't say Keith and I are going to get it done, guys.
No.
In the next day or two or max. Again, the contract doesn't have to be totally reworked.
No, well,
that's not what's happening here. He can operate and go forward with 98%. They're just changing the numbers. It's a bigger number.
Yeah.
And more and I'm assuming Ole Miss is going to run it through their private foundation to give him more than 4 years to skirt the state law. Other than that, and maybe some more playing hours, which I think right now he's got unlimited. So it'll just be unlimited playing hours as far as wherever he wants to go, whether it's Boca Raton or Siberia. I mean, we're not doing that much. You know, he's going to want to guarantee that you're going to spend money, but you've already spent money.
The verbiage is going to say
the same. I've never heard Lane talk about facilities. In fact, the only thing I've heard him talk about facilities is it's not about facilities anymore. It's about buying talent, buying assets. What are assets? Players. You know, your assets are your stock, mutual funds, real estate, your health, your business, your family. For Lane, right? It's players and coaches. He's already got, you're paying Pete Golding, what, $2.5 million?
Yeah. Joe Judge is on the sideline.
Joe Judge is getting well compensated. Your special teams coach is incredible.
Oh, man. What happens to all of them?
I don't know. I don't know. If Lane leaves, I don't know what happens to he's going to take some.
Oh, yeah.
I think Golding stays.
Me too. I think Judge is gone.
I don't know what Joe Judge does because he'll have so many options. Having already won Super Bowls with Belichick in the NFL and things like that.
Oh, he can probably go back up.
Nah, I think he and his wife really love the Southeast. You know,
really?
He wanted the Mississippi State alum. He wanted the Mississippi State job the last 2 times it opened. Cohen was going to hire him, but Matt Rule, Carolina offered Matt Rule the job.
Right, which
then he didn't go to New York.
Right.
And then the New York Football Giants offered Joe Judge.
So that, what I meant by up was he could go to the NFL. Do you think, is that a possibility?
I think he likes the college game.
I do too.
I know that's weird because everybody wants to go to the NFL because college is such a pain in the you-know-what. We are the Out of Bounds Show. We're brought to you by Independent Roofing Systems, #1 in the commercial and industrial roofing space. Done right the first time.